can't help it.
You're filming.
I know, me neither.
Alright, here's my audience.
Yay.
And then you the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay, you're on.
Alright, my name is Matthew Pope, and this is my special occasion speech entitled My Father, an Eternal Presence. Coming this June marks the 7th anniversary of my father's death. With the day coming close, and so much change has happened since, I felt it was only appropriate to give him the recognition he deserved by showing what he meant to me, my family, and everyone else that he encountered. Living without my father is like living without a heart or a lung. He was that essential to us. He was so much a part of everyone's life that going on is practically impossible. But with his memories and with his spirit, he helps us live on. And his words of wisdom encourage me, my family, and his friends to live life to the fullest, within reason, continue to strive for greatness, and ultimately laugh at yourself and your failures and learn from them. Maybe that was the lesson that he wanted us to learn from this tragedy, the sheer power that someone holds within them. The ability to go through life and touch so many other people's lives, much as the same way that he touched everyone else's. As my brother Michael put it, possibly he wanted to teach us the power of friendship, the fact that being a genuine humanitarian does not go unrewarded. Sure, my family may have lost a father, but we gained hundreds more in the process. I think that's just the kind of person that he was. Richard Pope was a jack of all trades. At one minute, he'd be coming up with a new recipe for his award-winning championship barbecue team. The next, he'd burst into a melodious Elvis Presley song, and then he'd spurt out some information about sports, yelling he was mugged at the officials when they said something against his lovely Jayhawks. I suppose that's where I get all my interests from. My dad couldn't be defined as a jock, a choir boy, a chef, a businessman, or even a class clown. He didn't fit into any category, and nor do I. Because of my father, I learned to embrace my interests and my talents, and I choose not to stifle myself or my individuality. He was a rare figure that strived for the best in everything that he did, and if he failed, he just kept on going. He knew he needed to provide for a large family. Instead of doing whatever he wanted to do, he did what he needed to do. He taught me about priorities, and if something isn't working, you find a way to get it done. Don't worry about failing, he said, because you tried it. Since he passed a few months after I turned 16 years old, he only knew I was gay for about 2 years. Although we never sat down and had a heart-to-heart conversation about it, I knew he was proud of his son for expressing who he was and being strong enough to stand up in the face of adversity. Never did he treat me any differently, and never did he make a big production of it, and never did he think anything of me except for his little boy. I think the lesson he wanted to show me was that being gay doesn't define who I am. He praised my accomplishments and helped me through struggles. In the end, he never let me use being different than the conservative community that I lived in as an excuse, and in the end that made me a stronger person. When I asked my siblings, my mom, my friends, and my family one quote that they remembered him saying, it was, "The world does not revolve around you." Now this isn't the most unique of wisdom, but obviously it stuck with us. There are more important people and things in life other than yourself. He wanted to be his own businessman and his own boss, but he did what he had to do to provide for his family and friends because they were the most precious. Our well-being was the most important. Another piece of wisdom that he showed us was take pride in what you do. He instilled this in acute ways, such through chores and our education. Whether it was mowing the lawn or, or doing the dishes, he told us to never do anything half-assed. Always do things to the best of your ability, the best that you can, and you can never go wrong. If friends were considered a person's worth, my dad would have been the richest person alive. It wasn't because he thought life was a popularity contest, it was because he had a knack for teaching people to be less serious about themselves. It's very difficult to be your true, unfiltered self around someone, but my dad brought that out in people. He can make a complete and utter fool of himself, but he never cared. As my mom said, he never sweated the small stuff. Wherever he was, whatever he did, and whomever he was with, laughter ensued. If you needed a good chuckle, you called on Richard Pope. He provided good fun and lifted your spirits to boot. He was dependable, a good friend, someone you could count on, and there when you needed him, and always there for a pick-me-up. All in all, he showed the importance of friendship and unconditional love, which was most priceless in his eyes. To conclude, you can't put my dad into any one category. His many talents and interests made him ambiguous and unable to define. His many quips, tricks of the trade, and infamous quotes ripple through me, my family, and all of his friends. To summarize my sister's eulogy, he will always be a presence in our lives, whether it's through our graduation, our weddings, having our kids, or maybe the Jayhawks winning another national championship. In remembrance of the infamous Richard Pope, I wanted to conclude with a short poem I wrote entitled Eternal Presence. Through the small window of light, I see the urn of mystic swirl. Within confined eternal presence, withheld from the earth like a wondrous pearl. Encaged and bound the spirit of my father, and I wonder how it must be. Bottled up, with nothing let out, I ask if this may happen to me. I am forlorn with all the answers I receive, although fastidious in thought I may be. I hear he still lives on with his spirit sore, and I know these are but merciful fallacies. But he will be with me always, even to the end of age. He is what makes my soul sing with each passing page. I will take the learnings along, I will share and spread, so that he may be set free and not caged up instead. Thanks.
Yay!